Hey guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. Wanted to let you know we're down here at Matt's Anchor Reliable Transport. We're going around meeting with people, shaking hands. We're going to show you guys some stuff, some content here from Matt's. As you can see, we have a semi truck up in the air here behind us. So we're going to go around, meet some people, and talk about what's going on down here at MATS, the Mid-America Truck Show. And if you weren't here, you have absolutely missed out. So we're here at American Truckers United. And your name, sir?
Harvey Beach.
Harvey Beach. Harvey, tell us what is going on here at American Truckers United.
Okay. What we're doing here today is we are fighting to protect American truck driver wages, while at the same time we're fighting to get the feds to enforce the English proficiency law. Drivers that are operating big trucks in our country must be able to read and understand our road signs. It's a major safety hazard, has been displayed by the many crashes and the inexcusable increase in fatality and injury accidents caused by big trucks.
All right, so is this already a law? Is it not required to have English proficiency to have a CDL?
It is absolutely federal law that anybody that is operating a big truck must be English proficient. They must be able to read, understand, and speak English. But in 2016, the FMCSA issued a memorandum, not a law change, a memorandum issued by an unelected bureaucrat instructing law enforcement all over the country to no longer enforce the out of service penalty that is with the English proficiency federal regulation. So now we have drivers all over the road that cannot read and understand right lane ends 1,000 feet, bridge may ice in cold weather. And just like the accident that happened recently in Austin, Texas,
Yep.
a man that had only been in our country for 4 months, somehow he miraculously also had his non-domiciled CDL, which that's not confirmed yet, but if I was going to bet my house on anything, I would bet you he had a non-domiciled CDL. Right. He drove into stopped traffic in a work zone that was setting still and made impact at 80 miles an hour, plowed through 19 vehicles, and killed an entire family. We have to stop this.
So we had something similar in Colorado not long ago that was all over the news with a guy that was passing the truck runoff ramps. Those are also written in English, truck runoff ramp. And he claimed that he had brake failure on the truck, but he never took those truck runoff ramps. So if he was able to read and write English, and he was able to read that sign that said truck runoff ramp, then he would have taken that ramp and he would have saved lives. Is that not true?
That is absolutely true. And I don't know if you're speaking about Scott Miller.
In Colorado.
Okay, so Deanne Miller, Scott's widow, unfortunately, she is one of our ambassadors. Deanne came to Arkansas to help testify on behalf of the bill that we're trying to get passed in Arkansas.
So tell us about this bill that you're trying to get passed in Arkansas.
Okay, House Bill 1569. We're trying to get it passed in Arkansas. I know there's been a lot of rumors that have gone around out there saying that it was already passed and that officers were requiring people to read English, and we have not confirmed that. We don't know if it's going on. We do know that the bill has not been passed. The battle is still on. And believe it or not, we are trying to pass a law that is going to protect Arkansas citizens. We're trying to pass a law that is going to protect Arkansas truck driver jobs and Arkansas trucking office worker and mechanic jobs. And our only enemy is the Arkansas Trucking Association.
And they oppose this bill.
They have opposed our bill. They put a bill out there in opposition to our bill that is a nothing burger. It actually requires a certain group of drivers to possess an EAD card. Well, the EAD document is the very document that quote unquote asylum seekers take and use to go get a non-domiciled CDL from sanctuary states and then they're thrown out here with very little training, absolutely no vetting. You can't board an airplane with a non-domiciled CDL in our country. That tells you right there how there is no vetting of who these people are, but we've turned them loose in 80,000-pound trucks to drive all over America.
Well, Harvey, it was awesome speaking to you. Tell us how we reach out to you. How do the guys out here watching the video reach out to you guys?
You can go to our website at americantruckers.com. Sign up. It's free. We need everybody's support. You can follow us on Twitter at ATU Truckers with an S. We're on Facebook, American Truckers United. We're on YouTube, American Truckers United. I don't know our phone number, but we got a phone number out there somewhere.
We'll put a link down in the description for you to the American Truckers website. Harvey, it's been a pleasure, brother.
Dude, thank you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
So we're here at the Mudflap booth with Chase.
Chase
How's it
McBride.
going, buddy?
Good.
Can you
Doing
tell
well.
us what Mudflap is about and why it's beneficial to an owner, operator, or driver's out here?
Yeah, so Mudflap is fastest growing kind of way for owner operators to find, save, and pay for diesel fuel. So we've got over 2,700 locations live on the Mudflap network that you can go find aggressive cost plus discounts to get the most bang for your buck with your fuel.
Awesome. So you said 2,700 stations, right?
Correct. Yeah.
So what is your network? Do you guys use like Loves or TAs or Petros?
Yeah, it's a good question. So about half of the 2,700 would be some of the national chains like TA. We also work with regional players like Casey's, Quick Trip with a K, Road Ranger. And then the other half, we've really tried to stay and have a good portion of our network with independent truck stops or kind of small groups as well. So a ton of variety. If you want to go to the larger chains to get that experience, it's there. But if you also want to go to an independent or a mom and pop shop, that's available too.
So how do I find these stations? You guys have an app or something?
Yeah, really easy. Android or the Apple Store. You can just download the Mudflap app. It takes you through a quick onboarding process. And one of the main features is the Mudflap map, where you can kind of see prices in real time and pick where you want to fuel up.
So you talk about this onboarding process. Do I need to provide my social security number or EIN? Do I have to make any kind of payment? Am I required to attach it to my bank account?
No, it's
What's
just
this process?
Yeah, phone, email, and then you can basically create the account. All we ask you to do is before you make a purchase is to link a form of payment. And so that could be a bank account, debit card, or credit card. And then you can kind of on you go. Don't have to wait for a card to come in the mail. Don't have to get credit approval. You can just fuel and go.
So if I'm using the Mudflap app and I don't have a card, how do I pay for the fuel?
Yeah, so it's we call it a fuel code. So as you get close to the station, you can go ahead and pick where you want to fuel, see the price that you like. In the app, it'll prompt you to get a fuel code. Typically, that's a 6 to 8 digit fuel code, and you can either take that to the fuel desk, and we either have a couple different ways you can redeem that code. And at the fuel desk, there could be a Mudflap tablet, or in some of the locations, we're integrated into the point of sale and can actually enter the code into.
So like at the
pump.
TAs and Petros, you can
exactly.
pump cases.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So,
and I guess one other thing to note, no fees, no monthly fees, no subscription. So it's literally free to use, and we just want to pass on as much savings as we can to the customer.
Awesome. Well, thank you for taking the time to talk
pleasure.
to me.
Yeah, thank you so much.
And everybody, if you missed Matt's, you're missing out.
All right, cool. All right, take care.
All right, everybody, we're still down here at Matt's, and look who I ran into. Who do we have here?
What's going on, Mother Trucker? How y'all doing today?
We have Alex from Mother Trucker News.
Yeah.
Alex, we're going around and we're talking to people, and what I wanted to ask you is, why are you here at Matt's, and what is most important to you? What are you passionate about right now?
I'm going to be honest with you. Every time I come to Matt's, I do some type of pro talk or I'm doing some type of thing when the thing I need to be doing is staying in one place to talk to the people, the truck drivers, that actually care about me and for the information that I put on for the last 10 years. And so I've been sticking my butt in one place. So while all these corporate people are trying to get my attention about some BS, I need to actually be here for a guy like this. I need to be here and helping the actual truck drivers and just whatever I can do to make people smile right now. And I honestly, brother, I'll be honest, I have like this imposter syndrome about myself where I am not the guy. I read articles and people are like, why do you guys watch this idiot? He could barely read articles, right? I am that guy. And so I'm so appreciative that anyone even cares about whatever the heck I talk about, right?
Right.
And so at the end of the day, it's like, I want to do good. And so this year, the thing that I care most about is I want to be here for the drivers. I want to share. Um, I've been better. If truck drivers want me to be on the show, I want to be on the show. I don't want to be on professional shows. I don't care about them. I want to care about the people that helped me be where I'm at today. And for some dumb luck of whatever that is, I appreciate it. So
we're just a small carrier. We got 2 trucks.
yeah,
I've actually been in the industry since 1998. We met at the Broker Carrier Summit,
Yeah.
where we talked about inspections. But there seems to be that the hot topic right now is over non-domiciled CDL.
right.
And we've been talking to American Truckers United. We've been talking to OIDA. We've been talking to some others.
Right.
What can you tell everybody that you think is happening, what they need to do to bring this to awareness? Because we have a lot of deaths going on at the hands of foreigners, and that's unfortunate.
And I'll say this, right? So yesterday, and even Overdrive covered this, right? Is, when and you told me about this when they were asking, right? American Truckers United was asking about, what about putting, the foreigners that don't speak a lick of English, right, out of service? Why aren't you guys doing that, FMCSA? And they come back and say, well, it's not our job to put people out of service.
Yeah.
I go, wait a minute, it's not your job.
It's written right in the rules.
They said, no, it's the job of the CVSA. And I go, wait a minute. If you guys don't know, this Alliance group, it's a private company. So you're the FMCSA, and you're saying it's not our job to put somebody that shouldn't be on the road out of service. It's this person's job that we hired to. Then why the hell do we need the FMCSA for?
Yeah. It seems to be a really hot topic down here at MATS this year.
Yeah.
Of course, we do have our vendors that are showing us new and up and coming items.
Yeah.
Technology seems to be a thing right now. I see
Yeah.
a lot of AI stuff going around, AI dispatching, and of course, you got your AI phones when you
Yeah.
call in on the brokers and whatever. But man, it was awesome seeing you get in, brother.
Hey, thanks for giving me your time, man.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, that's real.
If
Hey,
you missed MATS, you are absolutely missing out on all this.
let's go.
All right, we're still down here at MATS 2025. We're actually on our way out to see the show trucks, and I ran into someone. So who do we have here, brother?
Ike Stevens. I run Bonehead Truckers, Director of Marketing for TRC Freight, Reed Transport, and truck trailer repair out of Oklahoma City. Do a little bit of everything at all 3 of those companies, and then obviously Bonehead Truckers. I'm a safety and truck driver advocate. 20 years driving a truck, and now I do a little bit of everything marketing wise for a living now. So
Bonehead Truckers on YouTube channel. We'll put
Yeah.
a link down, but I'm sure most everybody knows who Bonehead Truckers is. So what brings you down to MATS, and what is one of the most important things you've taken away from MATS?
So as a content creator and in marketing, I come to these places as like a trade show, right? It's not really a truck show, even though you have trucks here. So this is the place you go to meet other industry leaders, products, things of that nature. It's kind of a must if you're wanting to, you could be a driver here, whether it be an owner operator or a company driver.
We
But
have
if you're
brokers here.
business owners, just a little bit of everything for every driver. Some people just come down here to party. That's what I used to do, but now I'm just all business. So yeah.
That's great. So one of the topics that's being talked about heavily down here that I'm hearing over and over and over again is the non-domiciled CDLs, people who can't read and write English that are driving on our roadways. And I know that you've put up quite a bit of content about this. So can you tell everybody just quickly, briefly, where you're at on this, what your position is? And what you think?
Quickly and briefly is not what I do, but we'll give her a shot. So where do I begin? Obviously, the stuff that I do, I see a lot of a lot of common denominators with the Bonehead Truckers videos that I do, and those common denominators are people that don't appear to be from this country, and most of the time you can see that by the way they act, because people come here from different countries and they have a different way of life. Their driving styles are different, and they come here without any kind of training. And so I made a video about it a few weeks ago, but I've always been pretty passionate about it. And then the accident down in Austin happened
Recently.
it was 2 weeks ago, and it was just that's what sent me over on it, just like it did a lot of people, because even though we don't technically know yet what this driver's status was,
They clearly weren't born here.
they weren't born here. Now, let me just state, I know a lot of people, a lot of good drivers that weren't born here.
Yeah.
That are good drivers. They're here, legal citizens.
Some of them better than American drivers.
Yes. Yeah. So let me clarify that.
Yeah,
but
I agree with you.
But I'll also say that there's a system going on that's behind the scenes in the shadows. It's a dark little secret that trucking companies have, and then also the local DOT offices have to get these guys CDLs, and then now you get to a point where you got drivers that are untrained and they can't understand English, can't read English on a sign, can't communicate. The FMCSA and the DOT just let them go because they don't want to deal with it. And then now you have the situation where, A, they're driving the rates down, the cheap labor,
Yeah.
and then 2, they're just running over people, just running over and killing people. And
So the speaking and reading of English is important because of the road signs. So let's say if you're driving down the road and your brakes fail and you're on a mountain, you have the sign that says truck runoff ramp. And obviously if they can't read truck runoff ramp, they are not going to be able to read that sign and know to take it. Same with the digital signs when they post, 3 lanes closed for construction. That's going to be written in English. It's going to be telling you about something that's up ahead, accident ahead. We see that all the time on the digital signs. And if they can't read that, that's how we have the situation like we have down in Austin, where the gentleman was doing, I think they said somewhere around 75, 80 mile an hour. The speed limit down there is 75. So
yeah, well, in that
75,
construction
80.
zone, it wasn't anywhere
Right,
close to
but-
75. I
but,
don't believe, I haven't been through there in a while.
But the point is they didn't see the signs to slow down.
Yeah.
That told them to slow down. It goes back to not only just not paying attention, but not being able to read the
Yeah,
signs.
and then again, these people take their driving habit. Now, some of these people ain't driven a car in their country, and then they come over here and get in a semi,
Yeah,
and
that's a problem.
that's a big problem because
One of the things that was mentioned from the guys from American Truckers United, and I thought that this kind of hit home, was they're talking about all these guys come over from these foreign countries and they have perfect driving records. That's because the United States can't pull driver's records from their home countries.
Mm-hmm.
So they could have been the worst driver in their country, had all of their privileges taken away, and come over here and they're just like the perfect driver because they have no record.
Yeah. So basically, what I'm pushing for is most everyone has to go through when they become a CDL driver. They have to go through training. I mean, the FMCSA has tried in the past to push training, but they're finding ways around it. And because the safest drivers are the ones that are trained. These people aren't trained. And that's the number one thing. And if you have a CDL in another country, it shouldn't give you a ride. And so my firm, bold stance on it is you have to be an American citizen to drive a truck. Now, driving a truck and driving anything on public roads is not a right. It's a privilege.
Yeah.
And people need to realize that, because they'll sit there and say, oh, you're taking our rights away. No, we're not, because you don't have a right to drive on a road. You don't have it. It's a privilege. That's the reason why you have to have a license. If it was right, you wouldn't have to have a license. So you have to have a license to do it. So we need to have standards, because driving an 18-wheeler is not like driving a little car, right? And so those standards are just gone away. And they're not going away for citizens. They're going away for people that ain't here legally. They just allow it to happen. And right now is the time to do something about it, because we have Trump as president.
Man, I appreciate you taking the time to
absolutely.
talk to me. Again, we just have a small company. I've been out here since '98, but it's great meeting with guys like yourself that have a much bigger platform that I can talk to and I can share my knowledge with, and you guys can share with me.
Yeah, I mean, it's just all about doing something about it. I mean, we could sit here and go rah at a truck show, but when you're gonna go back to that Flying J, and it's back to a third world country, and what are you gonna do about it? Sit there. And I know a lot of people don't have social media, they don't have a big following, but you can still do something about it. You could join organizations like the ATU, but you can also contact your local representatives that you live in their district, okay? Because they will listen to their constituents. They should. But just hound on them and hound on them. Go to Washington, honk on horns.
Yeah.
We need to be heard. And I guarantee you, the motoring public is for us on that. I mean, Joe Blow and his family, like the ones that just got killed in Austin, okay, would rather that driver be trained, and be a American citizen. I can't put thoughts in their head, but I guarantee you they wish they had a trained driver, because now they're having to bury 4 people. I know 5 people just passed away, but just think about it. A mother, a father, a kid, and an infant all died because of one driver wearing flip-flops, no speaking no English, and is from Ethiopia. And only people doing something about this is people like us.
The drivers.
But the mainstream, they don't care. They're blaming it on road conditions. That's all they care about. They don't care about the bigger issue. So yeah, so it's pretty passionate. That's what the story is. But we need to push
a lot of passion
outside of this, all right? Okay, because these raw events are great, but as we move on and continue on, I'm going to be pushing for it, and I ain't stopping. I got the time and I got the resources. So,
Ike,
yes, sir.
Man, it was awesome.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you, brother.
Yep.
If you miss Matt's, make sure you sign up for next year because it's an awesome event.